Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Tony here. Today is a preview of my trip to Big Bend. So last fall I went to Big Bend and I rode the bike from my home base all the way to Big Bend, and I did it over 2 days because I just wasn't able to do an 8-hour ride on the bike. It's just too much for me. So I did a stopover in Del Rio, and then from Del Rio I went to the Big Bend area. I didn't have a lot of time in Big Bend area, so I pretty much was just touring, not really exploring. But it was really good because I got to get a preview myself of the area and everything that was involved in going to Big Bend and stuff. Of course, I overpacked and I wasn't really prepared with vlogging and then riding and doing everything that was required for that. And I stayed at an Airbnb glamping site, which was really nothing that I really was into, so I didn't really end up staying there. It was just something that wasn't what I wanted to do. So when I went to Big Bend, I ended up staying at Tillingwer Ranch, and that was much easier with all my equipment and be able to charge batteries and everything. And then, Tillingwer is really, the ghost town was really cool because they have a really nice coffee shop there, and, the ghost town is a cool place. I didn't really get to explore it, so on this next trip, I'll be able to explore that. But the road to Fort Leaton is along the river, and that was pretty cool. And that's probably about the most of the pavement that I'll be doing. We'll see. I'll explore. But Fort Leaton is where you go to if you're going to go up to the state park. So that's the Big Bend Ranch State Park, which I will be doing some primitive camping and exploring up there. So, this will be about as much pavement that I'm going to plan on doing on this ride, this trip. So, yeah, mostly dirt roads, mostly just exploring. I'm going to have a good week-long stay at the Big Bend National Park, so that way I'll be able to get in there and explore a lot of this stuff I didn't get to explore. I really didn't get to see but a fraction of the park. I didn't do any of the dirt roads or any of that, so we'll have to go ahead and check that out this time. That's the plan, is to do more exploring. On this trip, I'm going to do a lot more stopping and exploring areas that I didn't really get to do last time because I was just over planned and under budget as far as time. So I didn't do any hiking or really didn't even get off the bike. So this time I will definitely do that and explore. If you're going to stay at one of the off-site places, it's a long ride. From Alpine or from Marathon, it's over an hour ride. This is Marathon right here, where they have a great coffee shop and great food and stuff, but it's just way too long of a ride. You could spend 3 hours just commuting from your hotel to the state park or the national park. So, Big Bend is the plan, and we're going to have a base camp in Big Bend where we'll be able to be in the area and then be able to explore and have a relatively short commute from wherever I'm going to go, short of, if I go really far out, which I plan on doing a lot of exploring. So we'll just have to see how it goes. We'll do all the dirt roads that we can. We'll explore a lot of the areas that we haven't explored, and then we'll go from there. As far as my plan for things like food and stuff, originally it was going to be mostly freeze-dried meals and just really minimal, but with the base camp I'm going to have a full kitchen. I'm going to splurge, full breakfast, take snacks with me on my ride, and then have a full dinner at base camp. Being at base camp, I'll be able to get out early and probably miss most of the heat, because in this area of the park, it gets pretty hot. It was way into the high 90s in the fall, and I expect it to be probably in the 80s and low 90s this time for the spring, but that 90 comes later in the day, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So I plan to be mostly done with my majority of my riding by that time. So that'll be a good thing to do, is to get out early when it's nice and cool and as the sun's coming up. I'm a morning guy. One thing I do want to explore some more is the Chiso Basin. I didn't really do much, but just a run through. I didn't explore any of the campsites, so I'll be exploring and touring all of the campsites in the Big Bend National Park, and then I will be able to explore the Chiso Basin a lot more. And that's the good thing that from the first trip is I still have a lot that I haven't seen. So if I had seen everything the first trip, it kind of, it's not as adventurous and exciting. So, the Chisos Basin will be a fun place to explore. Not going to do too much hiking, just something that I'm just not able to do right now. So, later on, there'll be quite a few videos coming out. This is just a preview video of the coming trip. And my preparations and getting ready to go, and some of the modifications and equipment that I've added to my arsenal of camping and vlogging. So we'll go ahead and check out some of the mods that I've done on the bike in preparation, and also some of the things that I'll be bringing. So one of the upgrades I got for this trip is I got the Jackery charging system. So this is a solar charging system, and I'll be able to use this to charge my devices, cell phones and batteries, computer, my iPad, and any of my batteries for the GoPro, even though the GoPro will most likely, and my cell phone will be running off of the bike, so I'll just need the batteries for when I'm not on the bike kind of situation. So this will really make things a lot easier. I didn't get the full-on really heavy duty system because I just really wanted something just enough to charge some batteries and to charge some of my devices. I'm not running any appliances or anything like that. So this will be a fun little thing that we'll try. Plus with this unit, I can take this fully charged with me, so when I go to primitive camping overnight and stuff, I can bring this with me, and this, I don't need to bring the solar. I'll just bring this. It'll be fully charged, and that will give me a refresh at the end of the day for my batteries and devices and stuff like that. So I wanted this to be small enough that would fit in my saddlebags and not be really heavy or anything like that. So yeah, we'll be checking that out too. And then we'll go look and see a couple of the other upgrades I did on the bike for this trip. So I went and swapped out the aftermarket windshield for the stock Honda windshield because I wanted something a little more lower profile than the other one, because doing mostly dirt riding, I don't need that really high windscreen and so on. So we went ahead and swapped that out. Again, we have the new tires, the new Shinko 805s. So we got the front done, and then I did get this new RAM mount for my cell phone. This was the old one. I'll be taking this one off. I'm just bringing it as a backup, but this will be a lot easier. Not a lot easier, but a lot more secure. I'm not going to be losing my phone on the trail. So we upgraded that, and then we did the foot pegs on this. So now we have some decent foot pegs for the ride. And then lastly, we have again the 805s that we put on the bike. So that will really be a lot more aggressive on the dirt, and it'll be good enough for the street for the riding that I'm doing on this mission. So yeah, so the bike's all ready to go, and we've got everything pretty much packed up. I did go ahead and I made myself a little shower, so we'll be testing that out. So being the showers are all closed at the Big Bend, I did a little 6-gallon with a little hose that comes off of here that I can hang this up. It'll be sitting out in the sun all day, so when I get back to camp, I'll be able to do a quick little GI shower with that. All my bike stuff is packed up, so I've got all of my maintenance stuff, oil and chain lube, and all the stuff that I need for the bike will be in this tub. And then I have all my tools in this one. So I got a bunch of tie downs and stuff because I'm trailing the bike, but all of my tools that I need for changing tires and everything and that I need is pretty much in this one right here. Tie downs and straps for while I'm on the bike. And then I'll have the 2 saddlebags, which will just be for my day use. I'll carry my extra tubes and tire changing stuff and basic tools, and then food, snack, water, and all that stuff will be what the saddlebags will be for. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying out some of this new stuff. And with the smaller windshield, the other windshield came up to about here. This way, you know, it'll just be in less in the way, and then less likely that I'm going to hit it. We'll be in off-road. So we're pretty much ready. We'll get ready to load this thing up and head out on the road. All right, so she's all strapped in. Safety wire, shackles, everything's tied up. I put this one on the front here that just holds the tire up against the chuck, so it's not, the bike can independently move. So we're hoping that'll work, and we'll check it out as we go. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of tension on here. It can move a little bit, but it's pretty much tied down like Tom Sawyer, pretty much. Safety wire on all the shackles, shackled, tied off. Yeah, so this side one really holds that down, and then the last one is the back here. I'm going to put something on here to keep this from falling off, but there's not a lot of tension, but it really just keeps the bike from going forward, and then so there's not so much pressure pulling it forward. But yeah, pretty much she's ready to go. I got my shower water here, and we'll put a couple more things in here, not too much, just a couple miscellaneous things that we don't want to put into the car. The car is getting pretty full. But yeah, we're pretty stoked here, ready to go. We're leaving first thing in the morning. We'll go ahead. I gotta go run and get something, so I'm gonna go take it around the block a couple times and see how everything is, and if it needs tightening up. But I think it's pretty good. Again, it's not meant to be like really compressed down, just needs to be so it ain't going anywhere, and it's not going anywhere. So there you have it. And we'll be heading out pretty early in the morning. Well, there she is, all loaded up. Got all my bike stuff, my dolly so I don't ruin my back moving all this crap, my shower water, my tools, my bike. She's all shackled down and pretty secure, so I think she's ready for the ride. All right, Big Bend, here we come. See you tomorrow at Big Bend.
I'm staring through your window, looking up at the stars, up at the stars. I'm caught inside a loop where I can get to your heart, get to your heart.